Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the market caller for today, the 25th of August, 2025. This is the last week of the month of August, and we're excited to share with you our analysis, our markups, our commentary on various currencies and asset classes, as well as news releases, that is to say fundamentals. So we're going to be running through the market caller starting with the dollar index, then we'll move to Euro USD and GBP USD, gold against the dollar, the yen basket, GBP JPY, USD JPY, and Euro JPY. These are the assets that we're going to be looking at this morning. My name is CJ, and I'm going to be taking you through the first round of analysis for this morning. So quickly, we're going to be opening up our charts as we proceed with today's analysis. I hope you're having a wonderful week already, and we're hoping that each and every one of us is going to have a profitable week by the end of this week. All right, so let's go straight into our analysis. Starting off with the dollar index, we're looking at the dollar index on the daily time frame, and we can see the effect of last week Friday's news release on the dollar index. Now, the central bank governor, or the chairperson of the Federal Reserve in America, Jerome Powell, he hinted at a possible interest rate cut moving into the next month. So there is a little panic on the dollar because seeing that there is this high level of uncertainty, there is also disparity between what the governor is saying versus what the president is saying. They are looking as though they are having two different opinions on what the economy should be or what the driver of the economy should be at this time. Discussing a little worry for us, and because of this cognitive dissonance, we are seeing that the dollar index is losing strength moving forward. We've seen it short all the way to the downside. We saw pairs like gold against the dollar trading to about 500 pips to the upside. We also saw Euro USD and GBP USD rallying by over 100 pips on Friday. So we're seeing that that effect is going to possibly continue into this week. But first, before it does so, we're going to see a breather on the dollar, where we see it gain a little strength as a form of retracement before it continues selling all the way to the downside. So this is what we're expecting to see on the dollar. I just thought to bring you up to speed with what happened on Friday and why you saw all the rapid moves. As we progress in the analysis, you're going to see the effects on these moves on all other currency assets that we're going to be analyzing this morning. So now that you've gotten a little hint on what is happening, seeing that the dollar is losing strength because of a possible interest rate cut, we are seeing the dollar selling. It has sold off massively on Friday, covering up all the buys. You know, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're seeing the dollar trading, except for, I think, on Wednesday, right? But for all other days throughout last week, except Wednesday and Friday, we saw the dollar closing higher than the open price, meaning that it was buying all through. But the sell on Friday swept all the buy of last week, and that is showing us that the dollar may just be resuming its sell to the downside. But something that caught my interest during that whole sell was the fact that the dollar didn't take out the high of the month. Like, it didn't really take it out completely. It just made a wick out of it, and then it went back into the same zone. That is telling us something, that possibly this move to this sell move may not be the main sell move that we've been anticipating. Because we know, if you look at the weekly time frame, you see that we've been on a sell trend for the dollar index, right? Now, we're just looking for a retracement on the dollar all the way to maybe a discounted, a premium level around here before a sell. But we saw that that sell started way earlier than the usual time, okay? So we're thinking, if we see the dollar index come all the way to this level here to break it, this would have been the game changer for us. This would have been the main thing that we would see, and then we'll resort to a sell bias for the dollar. But seeing that the dollar was not so strong enough to break this immediate structure, not to talk of the main structure right here, we are thinking that this sell may not be the main sell we've been waiting for. So we might see a stronger retracement of the dollar index all the way to the upside. That being said, I'm saying in essence that I'm bullish on the dollar index moving into the remaining part of today. So I want to see what the dollar index is going to do. And most likely, I'm expecting to see it being bullish all the way to this level here, at least for starters, this 4-hour order block here. So I would highlight that immediately so you would have a glance at it. Okay, so this is the level where I want to see the dollar index trade. So once I see it trade into this level here, then I would start looking for maybe another round of sell. But before then, right now what I'm looking for is a buy, because this heavily sold all the way to a discount level. We are not expecting it to just go freely without a strong retracement. So I would want to see the dollar index trade all the way to this level before selling. So I'm bullish on the dollar index this morning on this London session. I want to see the dollar index buying before before I even go ahead to look for another round of sell. This is the 1 hour time frame. You can see all the liquidity levels have been cleared. Now that external liquidity has been cleared, let's go for some internal liquidities in form of the fair value gap or in form of an order block. Now, if you look at the 4 hour time frame, we would also want to notice that the fair value gap that was built around here is quite long. So what I usually like to do is to look for 50% of the fair value gap and have that as a point of interest. Okay, so this is 50% of the fair value gap. I want to see what's going to happen around 50% of the fair value gap here. Okay, so if price trades all the way to this level here, I want to see how it is going to react to the downside. So my point of interest for today is to see price buy into this level here and then possibly give a sell to the downside. So this is my bias on the dollar index this morning. I want to see it sell, but before then, I want to see it buy into this level here or this level here. Now let's look at how that implies to what we're expecting to see on Euro USD and GBP USD, because those are the trades we'll be looking to take with respect to the dollar index analysis that we've made this morning. So starting off with Euro USD. Now, if you look at Euro USD, you can see a replica of what happened on the dollar index played out exactly on Euro USD, where we saw it buy rapidly to the upside, okay, after taking out all the highs of the previous week. So from the high of Monday, which was the high of the week before Friday, price has taken everything out, and you can also see on 4 hour time frame all the diagonal liquidity were swept off, and then price now made a short retracement afterwards. Now for that retracement, same way we're expecting a retracement on the dollar index, we're expecting a retracement on Euro USD. The first place is very exact as the dollar index is the 50% price point of this fair value gap. So exactly here, this is where I'm expecting a retracement on the dollar index, on the Euro USD, I beg your pardon. So after that, the next one is, of course, this other block right here. So I want to see price return back all the way to either this level or this level. So I'm looking forward to a sell-off on Euro USD. After that, I will now look for a buy to the upside. Okay. So these are the things that I'm looking forward to seeing today on Euro USD as we move into today. Now, starting off with the 1 hour time frame, you can see that this level coincides with this old resistance right here. I'm looking forward to a sell on Euro USD right away. So right now, I'm looking for a sell setup on Euro USD. Once I see anyone, I'll be willing to take. Now, let me show you one that just printed a couple of moments ago before we joined the market color. So you can see that this fair value gap here, which is the opening price of this morning, somewhere around here. Yeah, so this is the opening price of the Asian session this morning. Price returned to it, and then it's currently selling off from that level. So at this point, you would have gotten a good entry if we started this analysis like maybe 1 hour earlier, but we have our scheduled time. So this would have been a good place to enter the sell. But seeing that we've missed that, we'll just wait for a short reversal, except you're willing to take as much risk, then we'll be calculating something around 30 pips. Okay, so we can look at Euro USD from this light somewhere around here, all the way here. So I said it's around 30 to 35 pips stop loss. But then if we're looking at take profit, it's around 40 pips, and then the next one is around 90 pips. So we're looking forward to seeing Euro USD sell off to our 90 pips today into tomorrow. But for us to do that, we need to get a very tight entry. Okay, so I would want to move for a tighter entry on Euro USD. So what I want to see now is an engulfing candle All right, I want to see a 5 minute or 15 minute engulfing candle on Euro USD, or I want to see an evening star pattern. So I've taught you about evening star over and over again. So you can go and check it out on our YouTube channel, or just Google it and type evening star pattern. Look for it on any of these channels and then you would find it. Okay. So I want to see an evening star pattern print out on 15 minutes or on 5 minutes. Once I see it, I'll take a sell to the downside. If not, I'll just wait for a very short reversal on Euro USD into this level here, and then I'll be selling to the downside. Okay, so these are the things that I'm looking forward to. If I take that sell, my stop loss is going to be on the high of the day. So my stop loss is going to be somewhere around 17275. So this is where my stop loss is going to be. So I'm looking for a sell setup on Euro USD. If you see any, in case you have any other entry pattern that is different from the one I've mentioned so far, you can try to take it. But the overall bias is for a sell. We're just looking for a good place to enter the sell on Euro USD. That's what we're looking out for this morning. Okay, so if you see any of your entry pattern, we'll take it. If I see any of mine, I would also take it. So we're selling Euro USD from this level, 172 region. Stop loss is going to be at 1.17275. Then first take profit is going to be somewhere around 1.166. Yes, 1.16645. And then the final take profit will be around 1.16200. So this is the exact final take profit. First take profit, second take profit on Euro USD. So let us label that quickly. So let's say this is TP1 right here, and then this is TP2. Okay. All right, so this is TP1 and this is TP2. This is where our SL is going to be. So we can just drop this here so that we can reference it later in the day. So stop loss is right there. Okay, so these are the things that we have to look out for on Euro USD moving into the remaining part of today. So once you see an entry, we're taking a sell on Euro USD. I hope everyone heard it. Last time we dropped a sell markup like this, or we dropped a markup like this. So people were saying they did not get the exact price point. Now we've listed it because the trade actually went in our direction. I think that was GBP JPY. If we just take a quick look at it, you see GBP JPY trade. Some people said they did not get the exact entry and the exact exit. And now we are calling it out again so that no one will complain of missing out on that. I think this was the trade last week on GBP JPY. We're going to come back to GBP JPY for the analysis, but this was the trade people were complaining of not getting exact price points for entry and exit. Now we're giving it to you for Euro USD. I hope you make good use of it today. All right. Now let's move to GBP USD. Now for GBP USD, we're also expecting that retracement on GBP USD, just like we had on Euro USD, but we are not expecting it to be as strong as what we're expecting on Euro USD. I'm going to show you why in a few minutes, but then we could see that GBP USD looked like it has resumed the buy trend, but then price struggled to close above here. For GBP USD, before Friday, I had a sell bias on GBP USD, but you can see that this buy candle was so momentous that it moved all the way to this level here, but it didn't take out the high of Monday, unlike what Euro USD and GBP USD did. So this is giving me a sign that we may be having an SMT divergence where currency pairs and assets and indices that should move together are not moving together. Instead, one is giving another signal. So it's showing that one may be correct or the two may be correct. So we're choosing to watch what GBP USD is going to do with regards to that. But overall, I'm looking forward to a sell-off on GBP USD. Now, let me show you a similar bias, a similar analysis to what we have on Euro USD and on the dollar index. Now, if you look at GBP USD, we have this other block, just like we had on Euro USD and dollar index. And then, of course, we're going to measure the fair value gap from this level all the way down here. And then we want to look at 50% of that fair value gap. Okay, so that's going to be our point of interest as we look forward to a sell-off on GBP USD. Now, starting off with the 1 hour time frame, we can see that price is already retracing. So it's it's a fair deal to look out for a sell-off on GBP USD. Now, on the 4 hour time frame as well, we've seen price return but not break the high of the day. Okay, the high of the day is around 1.35294. So price has not broken that high just yet. So we're looking forward to more sales on GBP USD. Okay. Now, on the 5-minute time frame as well, you can see that price has clearly broken structure. So at this point, we're looking forward to a sell on GBP USD. So right now, I'm waiting for my entry signature to print. And let me tell you something about why I intend to look for an entry signature before just jumping into a trade. Now, when I've done my analysis, the entry signature helps me to know when the price is right. And there's something about price, time and price. You can be right with your pricing, that is right with your analysis, or you can be wrong with your timing. Okay, and that will mostly stop you out. That is why you see an analysis where, for instance, like today we analyze for a GBP USD sell, you rush and take the sell, and then price will stop, or the market will stop you out, and then continue selling. That's because you were right in there with price, that is knowing that price is going to head down, but you were wrong with your timing. So I like to use my entry signatures, which will serve as a confirmation for me before taking a position. So for GBP USD, I want to see that entry signature print out, either an engulfing pattern or an evening star pattern. Once I see it print out on GBP USD on 15 or 5 minutes time frame, I'll take it. And the reason why I'm looking at these time frames is that I want to have a tighter stop loss. Today is Monday. You know how Monday usually turns out if you are wrong. So I would want to have a very tight stop loss. Hence, I'm looking at 5 and 15 minutes time frames for my entry signature. So this is what I'm looking out for. For GBP USD, this is the first place I'll be exiting once price gets to my price point. So this is my stop loss is going to be somewhere around here. Okay, that is going to be my exact stop loss. So let's label that. So we have SL being here. Then we have our take profit here. So let's say TP1, and then let's call this our TP2. Okay, so if price trades in our direction, these are going to be our positions. And of course, we would have to validate that by a 1:3 ratio. So you can see we'll be having around 20 pips or thereabouts for our stop loss. And then take profit is around 40 pips, which is 1:2. That validates it. And then take profit 2 is around 80 to 90 pips, which is going to be around 1:4. Okay, so that validates the setup. So we're good to go on GBP USD. We're good to go on Euro USD. So these are the things that I'm looking out for to see play out today. And once they play out, I'll be taking advantage of them and trading it to these directions that I have called out for you. Okay. So let me know if you have any question. Let's quickly check on YouTube and then on Telegram and as well as on Zoom to see if there are any comment or any question. If there are not any, okay. All right, there are not any ones for now. So we're going to be going on a very short break. When we resume, we'll continue with our analysis on gold. So if you are a gold trader, you should stay around for the gold analysis, GBP JPY, Euro JPY, and possibly US JPY. We're going to be showing you all the setups you're looking out for this week. So in the next 30 seconds, we'll have a short break, and when we resume, we'll continue. So sit tight and enjoy the rest of the market color.
So I passed a 50K prop challenge last month with 3 trades using the exact strategy we use in the academy. And guess what? The phase 2 of that challenge, I passed it with just a single trade with that same strategy. And this is not just only me, there are other students in the academy that they've been able to pass their prop challenge, right? Phase 1, phase 2 across different prop firms. If this is something you want to do, I mean, you want to pass your prop firm account phase 1, phase 2, and also getting funded and also making payouts from that same account, or you want to increase your profitability on your personal funded accounts, then this is a community you want to belong to. The registration for the FX Bootcamp August edition is open, and you do well to send a DM to the number showing on your screen to get you registered. I look forward to seeing you in class.
Brought to you by the Value Group Trading Team. And this morning, that was a great insight from CJ for the dollar index and reason we are having that particular sell-off, as there has been a lot of things going on the dollar itself. So this morning, that is going to give us that analysis is going to give us a very good leverage to see what exactly we should expect on the precious metal and also on the yen correlated pairs. All right. So let's quickly move straight into that right now. What are we looking to see on the precious metal and on the yen correlated pair? Now, for the precious metal on Friday, very dramatic day for gold as we see all of a sudden the big rallies after the speed of Powell on Friday, and we already see how much gold really rallied so far, which you may have been very, very lucky to be part of the rally if you look at your chart at that particular time. All right, but that doesn't really negate the fact that we are still within a very big range, market range right now, even on the daily time frame. And however, we already see market structure broken down the trend line we've been following through for the buy, but still within the range. Hence our analysis of saying we want to see price, buy all the way into 4-hour POI here. If you look at it from the 4-hour level, you are going to see this is the 4-hour POI. So we are still expecting price to buy all the way here. So this was our analysis last week. We are expecting price to buy all the way to the premium of the range. Then we can sell from there all the way to the discount. So this week again, what should we expect to see moving forward? Analysis and bias to remain the same, particularly how that we still expect price to come and take out this liquidity zone. And when price takes out this liquidity zone, then we can begin to look for opportunity to short when it enters into this 4-hour order block, and we are going to see price sell all the way back down again. And that may be the resumption of the sell party on the precious metal moving forward. And since we already see for almost, if not up to about 6 months now, or 4 or 5 months now, we've been on a very long range. If you calculate it from April till date, this is end of August, we've been in that long range. So we expect that moving into next month, we should see a breakout from that range. It is going to be to the downside and it is going to be to the upside. But from the higher time frame, we are having some level of insight that the range break may be all the way to the downside because of this current price action we are seeing, and price reacting to the long-term trend line all the way to the downside. So that is our outlook. Now, what is the move for today that we want to look out for, since that is what we're seeing on the weekly, daily, and 4-hour time frame? So the look for today still remains that we should see the continuation of the buy party. All right. And if you look at it after the opening of the market yesterday night, we see how that price came all the way into a resistance zone that we have somewhere here, and that is exactly where price, pulled all the way from. And I'm still of the opinion that there is still high probability we still see price a little bit to the downside proper, how the price should trade properly into this resistance zone. Then we can now begin making it support. Then we can now begin to buy out from there, continue all the way to the upside to the 4-hour POI level. And then when price get there, we start looking for opportunities to short back. Now let's check on the 15-minute time frame. What do we have on the 15-minute time frame? Now 15 minutes is telling us, giving us more of a confirmation of what this week should look like on the precious metal, because this is more of a what we call the bullish flag. All right. So since this is more of a bullish flag, then what we should look out for is opportunity to join the buy. Now, what is the opportunity for us to join the buy? It much more clearly. Right now, we've not seen any signature printed out for the buy until we see price take out this Asian high. If price could take out this Asian high, bust pattern, and this is what we want to see play out there. We want to see price, come all the way, break this level, then reverses back to take out this liquidity point, and we follow it back up to the upside, right? So that is what we should be looking out for on the 15-minute time frame, meaning what we should be looking out for on the 15-minute time frame is price coming all the way to take out this point, then push and return back, and we can easily begin to move all the way up to the 4-hour POI level. All right, so that is our outlook on the precious metal today. And for this week, we are still very much looking forward to see a buy to sell kind of move for the week. All right. Now let's quickly get to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket, and we use that also to gain more insight on what we should look out to see on the yen correlated pair. Now, if you look at the yen basket last week, our bias still remains the same. We still expect much more of the sell party to pull all the way back into our weekly POI, and from there, you should take out this liquidity first and then trade into this level. However, if you look at the daily time frame, we are going to observe what we have been playing out on the daily time frame right now. We are seeing something much more like a boss pattern. Last week we explained the fact that yes, this looks like a boss pattern, but it's not really that much more clear, because the low that took out this level, this particular move, you can see how it just with a little pips, although on the daily time frame, but we can still consider it a boss pattern if we go to the 4-hour time frame. So we are still expecting price to short more to the downside on the yen basket, which is telling us that on the yen correlated pair, we should look out for opportunity to long them more, and then when the yen basket achieves its own goal, then the sell party for the yen correlated pairs should begin. And like we have been looking at it right now on the 4-hour time frame, this is the typical move of it. You can see this is the shoulder right here, and we've seen the sweep and the break to the upside. So this is what we call structure within structure. So we expect that price should come a little bit more to this downside here, and it's going to resume up or go and attempt to clear the daily liquidity level that we have here at this low and trade properly into this level. Now, if this is what we've been seeing on the yen basket, what should that give us now on the yen correlated pair? For the yen correlated pair, I think we should start with Euro JPY today as against GBP JPY, as that will give us a very good insight on what we are going to see on the other yen correlated pairs. Now, if you look at Euro JPY, starting with Euro JPY on the yen correlated pair from the daily time frame, we are going to observe that among the other yen pairs, Euro JPY already traded into its own POI. This is the POI here. You can see we have an order block at this point and also a fair value gap there. All right, this is here, so you can see that this is the order block at this top here, and we also have the fair value gap inside of it. This is the fair value gap. This is the order block. All right, and we see more like a break of market structure here. If you refine this into your 4-hour time frame, you are going to see that it's a very clean structure around this level. And looking at it, we see how that price really have traded into that zone here. And after getting into that zone, it begins to range and even giving a sell structure on the daily time frame. Again, look at this is a high here. This is a high at this particular point here, and this is the shoulder here. We see the sweep, we've seen the break, and price reversing back to that level. Remember last week and even 2 weeks ago, we've been expecting that Euro JPY should range for a while because it already attained its own POI and waiting for the other yen correlated pairs to get to that particular level. And since it has not really, is still within that range as expected. So what we should be looking out for now is go to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, you'll be seeing more of the sell structure. Yes, very true, is waiting to sell massively. And just like we have seen, this is a very clean shoulder level here. You can see it. And we've seen the sweep and the clear break to the downside. Now price has also come all the way, taking out liquidity here and trading, attempting to trade to this shoulder level. But I'm still of the opinion that this gap will have somewhere at this top here. Price should still trade all the way to that zone and then begin to sell to the downside. So this is still where we are expecting Euro JPY to trade into. And as we are expecting Euro JPY to do this, the yen basket will have achieved its own daily objective, then that is going to cause a Euro JPY selling massively compared to the other pairs. All right. Now, this is it here. Remember, on Friday, we have an analysis, Euro JPY, and that was here. And we're expecting that price should, sell all the way into this order block here. And that is where price really sold into and begin to buy all the way to the upside as expected. So the buy that we are seeing now is still a move to the upside, and we should look out for that to play out much more. All right. So where exactly can we now still join this buy? Yes, we can. If price could pull back a little bit and take out liquidity around this level here, then we can easily still join the buy and follow it all the way to the upside. All right. So this is what we are looking at. This is what we should be expecting on Euro JPY today. How that price should, pull back all the way here, take out this liquidity point, then begin to buy to our POI on the daily time frame. All right. So if price could take out this reference point here, we have a fair value gap just below here. So you can just see price take out this liquidity point and trade into this fair value gap, and we are going to see price begin to rally all the way to the upside. But make sure you see your entry signature within this zone before you execute. And what's your entry signature? Just the way we have it here. So when you have a bullish engulfing, you can easily pull the trigger and follow through to the upside with your SL just below this level. And this is going to be hit for with just an SL of about 20 bits good, and we target your 1:2 or 1:3, right? So if it's 1:3, just get it to this high and get out of the trade. All right. But if it's 1:2, get what you're going to get. And if you are willing to hold it a long time, then you can follow it up all the way to the daily POI. Now, since this is what we are seeing on Euro JPY, what should we now expect on GBP JPY? Remember, on Friday too, we were expecting to see a buy of GBP JPY, even right from the daily time frame, because GBP JPY has not achieved its own aim, its own goal right from this point. You can see this is that level for GBP JPY. This is the reference for GBP JPY, and we've seen it attempt to get there to that zone, but it has not really gotten there. So it still remains this little move to the upside. So what should we expect to see on GBP/JPY? I know you'll be thinking we already have a sell structure because of this low here on GBP/JPY. No, because look at this last move, price already picked up and it's still heading all the way to this zone. All right. Now on 4-hour time frame, what are we seeing on GBP/JPY? I'm still seeing a buy move all the way to the upside. Now, where can we join the buy move? The ADPOI of GBP/JPY. On the 1-hour time frame, we'll see how that price is to the upside right now, and we may likely see some reaction somewhere here for GBP/JPY. We are likely going to see some price reaction somewhere around this zone, particularly at this 1-hour order block. But do not be moved, because when price gets there, you can just see it, range within that level, and it's going to break it out all the way to the upside again. So if we are, let's go to the 15-minute time frame, we are going to see any entry for the buy of GBP/JPY. All right, great. What I would be expecting to see on GBP/JPY to join the buy of GBP/JPY is if price pull back all the way to take out this Asian low. This is this point, this Asian low. Price taking it out, one, that's the first signature to watch out for. When price takes it out, trade properly into this order block. So this order block is going to be my next reference for the long of GBP/JPY. So when price gets there, then we can easily look for entry signature, just the way we have it around this level here, just the way we have it on Friday, somewhere here. Then you can easily follow through to the upside. But no better than that of Euro JPY, because if you are trying to buy from this zone, then your SL is going to be just below this level here, and that is about 30 pips, all right, compared to the 20 pips, and you are targeting your 1:2 or 1:3 all the way to the upside for GBP, GPY, EUR, GPY, and the precious metal for the day. If there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box. Let's quickly attend to it, or on the YouTube page. Let's quickly attend to it, and we'll call it a day. And you should know that by 2 p.m., we are still going to come back to see what exactly has played out in the market and how we are going to, join the market. And remember, we are most likely going to see GBP, JPY become a bit slower today because we are having the GBP bank holiday today, being Monday. So it may be a very slow day. Yeah, it's most likely going to be a very slow day for GBP, JPY, except that if the liquidity comes from where we don't know. All right, so that is going to be the end of the market call-up brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. See, we meet again by 2 p.m. for the New York recap, and they can share me. Cheers and God bless.
So I passed a 50K prop challenge last month with 3 trades using the exact strategy we use in the academy. And guess what? The phase 2 of that challenge, I passed it with just a single trade with that same strategy. And this is not just only me, there are other students in the academy that they've been able to pass their prop challenge, right? Phase 1, phase 2 across different prop firms. If this is something you want to do, I mean, you want to pass your prop firm account phase 1, phase 2, and also getting funded and also making payouts from that same account, or you want to increase your profitability on your personal funded accounts, then this is a community you want to belong to. The registration for the FX Bootcamp August edition is open, and you do well to send a DM to the number showing on your screen to get you registered. I look forward to seeing you in class. So I passed a 50K prop challenge last month with 3 trades using the exact strategy